Hello, this is 2021 Drag Queen Speech, and my name is Matthew. Have you managed to pass the omnivariant Squid Game yet? The one where you don't catch COVID before Christmas and it ruins all our plans? I hope so. Because we're just about to have another lockdown announced anyway, so we need to party hard before they announce another lockdown. And a lot of people struggle with lockdown. Not only do they struggle with SADS disease, they're already sad in winter, but being isolated obviously compounds it. But all I'll say to those people, remember that this moment you can cope with right now. You can always cope with this moment. It's the stories that we tell ourselves that we can't cope with. This moment is always bearable. And it's probably going to be the same next year. There's going to be another lockdown next year, or there might be. Whenever there's been a pandemic in history, what ends up happening is it kind of slowly reduces every single year. And I'd imagine 3 years into it, it'll still be going. So we're not quite out of the woods yet, but it's definitely better than it was this time last year. I'm sure you will agree. Because let's face it, the whole reason why we even have lockdowns is only so that the government can protect the underfunded NHS without telling us that they've underfunded the NHS. That is literally the whole point. That's why it is. And also, just whilst I'm at it about the government, they've managed to give us all a 5% pay cut. Amazing. This Conservative government are literally fucking terrible. 5% pay cut. But what they're good at doing is pretending like they've delivered us something. So I watch this. Boris Johnson's going to get sacked soon. And they're going to announce the first ever Asian Prime Minister, Rishi Sunak. And then by the time the general election comes around in 3 years' time, we'll have forgotten about Boris and then we'll keep the Conservatives in. And the pain will continue. But that's just my personal political agenda. But whatever your agenda is, I'm sure you probably noticed there's a lot of division on social media. There's a lot of tribalism. And really, it is social media's fault. That is literally social media's algorithm fault. They want us to be divided because it keeps our attention more so that they can earn more money. That's how it works. And I'll give you a little bit of a warning. If you're someone who feels disgusted at another type of person, so somebody who's different to you, someone who has different ideological beliefs to you, if you feel disgust at that person, you are being 100% manipulated by social media. Because the reality is, most people are very similar. And I'm sure you already know that in real life. But yeah, anyway, back to lockdown. The example drips down from the top. And, obviously Boris Johnson and his pals were having parties last year, whilst we were all literally in the lowest point of the entire corona pandemic. They were having parties, laughing at us. So, if the example drips down from the top, I'll let you decide what it is that you want to do. But how are we supposed to... Hang on a minute. Oh, just a sec. Just feeling a bit... How are we supposed to trust Boris and his cronies with all the lies that they've told? Like, we finally got Brexit, which started in 2016. We finally got it this year. And I personally don't even believe that Boris Johnson wanted to... He didn't even believe in Brexit. I think he just wanted to further his own standing in society. I think he just wanted to boost his own profile. And it worked because we made him Prime Minister off the back of it. But so much has happened this year. So it's been nearly a year since that guy or those people got so brainwashed by Facebook algorithms that a woke pirate and his team stormed the US Capitol. All because of Donald Trump and his little Trumpism. Donald Trump in Trumpistan with all his Trumpistanis all chanting his name have finally been booted out for the betterment of everyone, regardless of whatever American politics you follow. we can all agree that he is a fucking cancer on free speech. And the best part about it is most people who follow him think that he is about free speech when in fact he's about himself and he's using you as a tool to get his own way, you absolute mug. So we've had a lot of division because of the vaccine. Now, obviously vaccines are quite a visceral topic, but vaccines at the end of the day, humans' lifespan has doubled since the vaccination was invented. So, I don't know, I'm not a scientist, but I like to look at the trend line and not the headline. And the fact that vaccines have made us live double since they've been invented tells me that they're a good thing. That's all I really need to know. But really, thing about vaccines is it's more about ideology than it is about science. Most people are so ideological with it that they will befriend people regardless of whether they'll take a vaccine or not. I see shitloads of it all over social media. Quite frankly, it's irritating as fuck. One story I told earlier on in the year, imagine if that anti-vaxxer had discovered a time travel machine and he'd have gone back in time with his woke, his pseudoscience, and he comes back in time to around the time they invented vaccines, and he convinces everyone that vaccines are really bad and the government are trying to control you, and he convinces all those people that survived because of polio, Spanish flu, all the other stuff that we've managed to vaccinate against, all of those people now die because of that woke time traveller. I'm sure you'll agree with that little thought experiment. It's just a little bit over the top, don't you? But just remember, that person you're arguing with on social media, just remember, when all's said and done, all they are is another human at the end of their phone, just like you are. They're just another person, and if you can't get out of your head how much of a twat they are, just remember that they're going to die, just like you. They have loved ones and friends that are going to suffer and die, just like you. We're all humans, we all care, and we all hurt. So just remember that, we're all the same deep down. Reach out to people, have conversations with them. Nobody is perfect. Life is hard. You'll figure out that everyone is more or less the same only if you reach out to talk to them and learn something that you didn't know before. We've had some awesome stuff go on this year though. As an England fan, I'm a football fan, and as an England fan, we've never had as many good memories as what Gareth Southgate's given us. Gareth Southgate won Sports Personality of the Year. I think it's deserved. I absolutely loved it when England got to the final. Some of the best moments as a footy fan that I've ever had in my entire life. Next year, I'm looking forward to travelling more. I've got a few stuff booked in. Let us know if you've got anything booked in. I've noticed how expensive things are getting. Usually things go up in price because of fuel. Fuel's really expensive. And what that does is it makes everything get more expensive. Because all businesses have to factor in the overheads in order to make a profit, which is obvious. But, if you can't afford it and life starts getting tough, we can all hide in the metaverse. The metaverse is going to be the place where people can hide online. They can create an avatar of themselves that's perfect. I mean, it sounds a bit like it already is. We're already in the metaverse. People are already in the metaverse, sat on Facebook all day. They've already created an avatar of themselves, a perfect version that other people look at, but the reality is very different. We've all seen it. We've all seen the catfish. You might be a catfish. Stop fucking lying. But life is becoming more and more online now. Over the last year, we've realised that institutions are kind of becoming obsolete, or are they? The royal family. Do we need the royal family anymore? I think I might have mentioned this year. Banks. Do we need banks anymore? What's probably going to happen is the wealthy people in the wealth are going to live in the real world, doing real life ace things, and all the poor people are going to live online in the metaverse, pretending to be ace. That's probably what's more likely to happen. The royals have had a tough year. Prince Andrew, paedophile, going in court. Nobody knows about it because it's never on the news, so we need to make sure we keep that message rolling. Harry and Meg, they left the royal family. But overall, no matter what you say about these people, freedom of speech, whether it's Philip as a racist, Andrew as a paedophile, people saying whatever they're going to say and getting cancelled for it. Freedom of speech is one of the most important things in the human race, full stop. We cannot stop people from saying what they want to say. That is one of the most important things in humanity. It's precious. So in 2022, I urge you, look at the trend lines, not the headlines. If you can just do one thing, do that. If you notice a division, reach out to people. If you notice a division between people, if you start falling out with people over social media, that is an algorithm problem and not a person problem. Reach out to them. Have a private conversation. Division equals weakness. We need to be together. We need to be more together than ever. We're more similar than you think. Just allow yourself to trust people. Allow yourself to trust other people again. You're not going to get that hurt by having your trust broken. Forgive yourself. Forgive yourself, because the shit that you've done is just as shit and good as the shit anyone else has done. We've all done shit. Forgive yourself. Nobody fucking cares about you. Nobody. Just you care about yourself. So forgive yourself. Your new life starts now. Merry Christmas, guys. I love you, and I'll see you later on. Bye.